Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast, and we are here to finally. Did y'all hear that noise? Damn it. You know what? I'm not cutting it out. I'm sorry if y'all heard it. All right. We are here to finally wrap up Real Housewives of Potomac with the reunion, episode 4. So it starts off with Nikki picking right up with Ashley. Ashley, please tell me you didn't haul your milk all the way to wherever they were just to start some trouble and come on back because you didn't have a storyline. Ashley's like, I've been on this show for 6 years and, my family is in my storyline. She's like, yeah, but it seems like your family is a separate show, basically. It's kind of what she was saying. She said there's Ashley's family and then there's the Real Housewives of Potomac, basically. And yeah, I agree. Sorry, Ashley, you're phased out. We're done with you and we're done with your sexual predator of a husband. And he is. I'm sorry. Anytime he go around filling on men, he's a predator. Yeah, so they show the whole montage of when Ashley came and, did her thing. And Nicki Minaj asked Wendy, so you were more upset with Gizelle and them than you were Ashley? She's like, yeah, Ashley was just a messenger, Gizelle. And she's like, no, there's no difference. One of them had a knife in your face, one of them had one in your back. So how is that different? And she's like, the point is, she had no storyline. So she kind of grasped onto something negative and made that her storyline. It's so funny. She was saying it like it's fact, which it is. But Ashley was sitting there looking like, no. She's like, I'm still a part of this cast or whatever. And she's like, yeah, but you're going to have to just accept the fact that you had no storyline. And you went all the way there just to do this and be her little sidekick, and then you left. And you guys, it's so funny because I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna quote one of my YouTube people that I watch, which is Mr. James Caldwell. I just watched him, and he said that he ran out of steam for the show, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to agree, which is why I'm getting this out even later than normal, because I ran out of steam for it. Even though this episode was good, I think Nikki did a great job. I actually wasn't too keen on her hosting, but I do feel like she asked the tough questions. She didn't play with them. She gave all of them the business separately, but she was still, respectful enough. But yeah, I had run out of steam for it, but it was pretty good. So she tells Ashley, you said what you had to say. You got back on the bus and you was out of there. And Candiace keeps saying, but she had to work. And she's like, whoa, Candy girl. And I find it hilarious that she kept calling her Candy girl. Whoa, Candy girl, let me talk to her. Like, I never realized how much Candiace just jumped in, even though I know her and Wendy, they got that bad. But listen, Nikki maintained. She was like, shut your face. And yeah, Candiace, shut up. So we get to Robyn, and y'all know I'm gonna have to go past this real quick, guys, especially because it seems like Nikki had a huge crush on Robyn. It really did to me. Like, she was favoring her, she was giving her all these compliments. She didn't really give her too much of the business about anything except being Gizelle's girlfriend, which was cool with her because she wanted a piece of her too. So she talks to Robyn. She's like, listen, are you guys doing it more? Because it seemed like you had all this chemistry, you and Juan. And Robyn's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, what chemistry? What are you talking about? Where do we see chemistry? We saw him roll up the window and drive off on her. We saw him walk out. We saw him saying, Robyn, shut up, quit talking about that. Like, where did we see this sexual chemistry? I'm sorry. But yeah, she was just being very nice to her. And then she asks about her and Gizelle. So Nikki tells her, listen, I hear a lot of talk about you being Gizelle's little sidekick and following up behind her, and I didn't give it no thought until you guys were out of town and you turned to her and said, hey, so are we mad at Ashley? And she's like, you're a grown woman. Why you gotta ask somebody else if you mad at somebody? And Robyn says, no, I just didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what Ashley had told her and said and everything. So I wasn't saying like, Gizelle, are we mad at Ashley? I was saying, are we, like as a collective, the whole group mad at Ashley? And Nikki gave her a look like, yeah, okay. So, Nikki's like, listen, you might want to leave that we alone since people be riding y'all so much. Don't say that to Gizelle so often. And Wendy chimes in and she's like, yeah, because at the party you were like, yeah, I don't think we will be making your trip. And Robyn was like, well, look at how, you gave us the invite. It was shady. And she says, the same way it was shady when you gave me that shady invite to the reasonably shady party. And Robyn was like, it was just tongue in cheek. We were just kidding. And I'm like, yeah, but when she got there, Gizelle said, yeah, you can't use my bathroom. You can't go in the house. Like, there was nothing cool about that. But Nikki said, yeah, Wendy, you kind of took that out of context and it was not a big deal. I wouldn't have been mad about that. But yeah, I feel like Wendy can be mad about whatever the hell she want to be mad about. Because yeah, when I get to your house and then you act rude, yeah, that's an issue. Okay, so now we get into the whole Gizelle and Robyn thing and if they are secret lovers. And Robyn says no, she doesn't go that way. And Nikki is like, yeah, because if you did, who would you want? And she's like, yeah, I don't go that way. So she asked if she had like $11 billion, something like that. Who would you go after? And she's like, oh, well, you. And she's like, well, that's a safe bet. You just said that so your girlfriend, Gizelle, wouldn't get mad. And Giselle's like, yeah, if she got billions like that, then I'm in. And Ashley says she's in. They're going to do a threesome. And then Candiace invites herself in. And it really seemed like Nikki has a crush on Robyn. It really does. She's like, don't tempt me, Robyn. And I'm like, ew. Do you see how this girl look half the time? Do you see how she dressed? You see how her hair is? Why on earth would you have a crush on Robyn? I am not saying she is not a pretty woman, but she don't carry herself right. She just don't. Like, she don't, her upkeep, oh my God, it's lacking. So then Mia's lame ass jump in and she's like, oh, but you call me a prostitute, but you would sleep with a woman for money. No, you are. And I'm like, girl, you haven't been heard in like 3 minutes and it's killing you? Because what are you talking about, Mia? So then we get into whether or not she and Robyn slept in the same bed when they were out of town, because there was a little hesitation when she was asked, do they have separate rooms? And she's like, no, yeah, we have our own rooms. But they did sleep in the same bed at some point, like recently. And I don't know, like, I'm not sleeping with a grown woman. I'm just not. Maybe my mom or my sisters, and I don't even see that happening. I don't. But I guess if they cool enough. And then Robyn said something about becoming the spoon, they spooned a little bit or something. And I'm like, girl, yeah, y'all giving it up, I'm telling you. So then she asked Robyn, do you think that Michael is sexually attracted to Juan? And somebody, I don't know if it was Robyn or Ashley. I think it was Robyn. She started laughing and she's like, yes. And then Ashley's like, wait a minute, sexually? And she's like, is there any other way? And yeah, we get a big key out of the fact that Michael definitely has an attraction to Juan. He said, and then we get into it again, he would suck his thing. So yes, I would say that that's an attraction. So Nikki's like, yeah, Robyn, I just can't, I don't understand how you're so cool about it. And she's like, yeah, because Juan won't let him suck his thing. And I'm like, but do you know that for sure? Because Juan made the joke of them going to Vegas together alone, and he didn't have to. Dude was like, yeah, you're gonna have a great bachelor party in Vegas. And Juan was the one who suggested, even though he was joking, yeah, but there's a little truth to every joke. But he did say, alone, just me and you. And I'm like, Juan, if you know this man definitely has an attraction, which he does, like he has a crush, huge crush on Juan. He likes him way more than Ashley. Why would you continue to, it's like he's egging it on and he's like, I don't know, he's teasing him. And who's to say that he would never let him suck it? Yeah, I don't know. So Nikki starts making the point of them being friends and the fact that Juan knows that he's sexually attracted to him. And she's like, Ashley, you real cool with them being friends like that or whatever. And Robyn, and it would get flirtatious if, they talk all the time and, somebody has an attraction for you. Of course, it's going to get a little flirty. And Robyn and Ashley don't think so, but I don't know. It's like this. Either Juan is extremely secure and he's fine with it because he knows this is the ongoing joke. Like he does. And he doesn't care, it looks like. So either he's extremely secure or, maybe got some secrets, guys. Y'all, and then comes the funniest part of the night when she says, does he have she's asking Robyn about Juan. Does he have other gay friends? And then they show Ashley and she got this look on her face and she's like, sorry guys, that's my heat. And she got this look on her face and she's like, Michael isn't gay. And I'm like, he's so gay. I mean, he sleeps with you, so I guess he's bi. That's fine. But this man goes around talking about sucking other people's peens and grabbing men's, but like he doesn't have any type of issues with grabbing on women. So I'm gonna say he's either gay or bi. I don't know, but he's something. But she was so offended. So Karen tells Nikki, okay, let's move on. And she's like, quit bossing me around, Karen. I'm the grand dame tonight. And Karen's like, okay, my fault. She's like, I'm just enjoying this line of questioning. All right, now we shift to Gizelle, and she tells her that she loved watching her with her daughters, which I do too. And she's like, do people tell you that? She's like, yeah, they tell me you're shady as hell, but you're somebody totally different with your daughters. And I can agree. And then she tells her, you're strikingly gorgeous, and I think you know this. Gizelle says yes. She's like, yeah, I can remember on one of the seasons you were like, yeah, and men still cross the street just to talk to me or whatever. And, Gizelle starts laughing. So then she says, I look to then and now, and you do look different. Do you think your beauty has started fading at all, or you're just giving a different look? And when she said that, all the ladies were like, oh my God. And I died. But you guys, Gizelle is just getting older, as we all are. She's still pretty. She's fine. Y'all, and then this is the part right here. This is the part I have been saying the entire season. She's talking about Ray telling Gizelle that her looks are going to fade. And she's like, how'd that make you feel when he said that? Yeah, I felt like it was rude and offensive for a man to say that to me and I'm not his wife or whatever. And Nikki says, yeah, so in the moment you were hurt. And she says, exactly. And I'm like, there it is right there. Everybody is just taken away from the fact that this man said to her, you need to hurry up and get married before your looks are fade. And I think that was rude as shit. Like, it was so rude. And yeah, she even she was like, listen, I should have said something different or told him that I was hurt instead of making the joke about him being 6 feet deep or whatever. But yeah, it was hurtful. And that is what I've been saying all the time. What he said was not cool. What she said, okay, joke didn't go over well. Not a big deal. However, let's not negate the fact that this man told this woman her looks are gonna fade. That shit is rude. It's super rude. Yeah, and then we get Candiace saying, yeah, Giselle's getting better. And Nikki's like, whoa, Candy girl. This is me and Gizelle. I swear to God, it is hilarious that she keep calling her Candy girl. And shutting her up too. Alright, so then we get into the fact that Gizelle is constantly, clowning Karen for the fact that she's an older lady. And she's like, no, I don't. And Nikki's like, we must be watching different shows. And I'm like, that's the same way I feel about you with this Robyn and Juan sexual chemistry thing. Nikki, what are you watching? But we go into the montage of Gizelle clowning Karen from season 1 on. Oops, so Karen interrupted and she's like, listen, I feel like it's offensive or it's wrong for women to come after each other for their ages anyway. She's like, I'm 58 and you would want to look this way when you make 58. You got 5 more years, but when you get there, you want to look like me. Nikki says, yeah, because if you can't say that, my body is better than yours, I have more money than you, my marriage is better. Like, she's pretty much dogging Gizelle. She's like, then what else are you going to go after? And basically saying, she can't really shit on her for nothing except the fact that she's older than her. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm at 14 minutes already and I am not even halfway through this show. So I guess the review is going to run a little bit long. It's all right though. Stay with me. So then Gizelle says, in my defense, we did not know how old Karen was for a long time. And then Robyn says, yeah, Karen, you look a lot different than you did in season 1. She told her she looked like she was in her 60s. And then Nikki says, oh, child, she is taking up for her girlfriend. And I'm like, that's how it goes. Don't you know? Like, you can't come after Gizelle on anything without Robyn chiming in. Ever. Oh, and yeah, Karen does look way better than she did season 1. Period. You guys, I'm gonna get a new microphone because this mic is just too nice. Like, you can just hear every little thing. I feel like it's in my mouth and I am far away from this mic. So I think I'm gonna try out a different mic because I'm not feeling it. So she asked Gizelle about Jamal, and, she's fine with the fact that she tried to get back with him. She said, 100% she would have definitely tried to get back with him. And Nikki's like, well, why did it take this long for you guys to try to reconcile? He waits until you're on TV to then try to reconcile with you. And she's like, well, listen, before, I guess she's saying that she was not really checking for him. But now, and Nikki's like, so were you in his pockets? And she's like, oh, 100%. And I'm like, yeah, they were married. She lived in his pockets. That was her pocket too. So I don't know the point. So Gizelle then states, because she was asking, were you getting help from the church? And he was getting paid from the church. Gizelle stated that he wasn't really getting paid from the church for a lot of years. And because he wanted everything to be great. And then eventually, I guess he started. But he was being paid by his, not performances, because he doesn't perform, but I guess when he would go to different churches and speak or whatever. So she's basically saying that he wasn't, really getting that much, and she was with him from the ground up and yada yada. And I just don't understand why we're still talking about Jamal. I don't. So we take a commercial break and we come back, and Nikki's like, they said Karen was looking through my notes, and Karen was like, that was Wendy. She's like, oh, that was Wendy? And she's like, why you did that? And yeah, they show where Wendy was looking through her cards. And I'm like, how sneaky is that? But then, can you really call it sneaky? Because literally, she was in Nikki's face. Like, Nikki was sitting right there when she was looking through him. And I'm like, why are you doing that, Wendy? I don't like sneaky people. I don't. Maybe she didn't think it was sneaky, but it's not yours. Don't touch it. So Nikki asked Karen, listen, at the table, you told Gizelle this is not what you want. And she's like, do you feel like you got her? Like, that ain't what she really wanted? And she's like, yeah, I got her. The hot box stuff is what was in the blogs. I don't believe it, but you gotta fight fire with fire. She was coming at me. I had to get her up off me. And I'm like, isn't that the same thing that Candiace was doing with Mia when she said your mama? Like, it's a lame read, but it's kind of the same thing. Fight fire with fire. But anyway, Nikki asked Gizelle, so next time she says, this ain't what you want, are you going to think twice? She's like, no, we've been going back and forth for 6 seasons, so I don't care. And Karen's like, listen, I fight the same way Gizelle fights. So what she gives me is what I give her back. You guys, and let me just state for the record about the whole colorism thing or whatever. Is there colorism? To me, I don't think so. I really don't. Like I said, I think Candiace is prettier and can body most of them. Like, I'm sorry, light skin or not, Candiace is beautiful to me. I do think that there's like this hierarchy there where the OGs feel like they can get away with stuff. There's definite double standards and all that. But I don't think it has a whole colorist type thing. I don't. I'm sorry. And when they were talking about Wendy last season, let's just keep it real. Wendy's makeup and her hair was not attractive. It wasn't. Is Wendy ugly? She's not ugly. But she looks way better this season than she did last season because she's getting her shit together. So let's just keep it funky. All right. And this is coming from a chocolate sister. Yeah, so then Nikki asked Karen what she been doing to Ray Ray because y'all seem real sexual. You sitting on his lap and everything. And Karen's like, yeah, I've been putting in, I've been hustling. I got Ladom and Macy's, and yeah, she's talking money. And Nikki's talking sex. She's like, so do you grab his ass when you guys are, doing it? And I'm like, ew, how can you even think of that? It's disgusting. But cute moment. So as they're wrapping it up, Karen is like, yeah, I'm not teabagging nothing. And Nikki is like, I'm glad you brought that up. Why are you acting like you didn't know what teabagging and tossing salad was? And she's like, I did not know. Hell if I knew. And she's like, show of hands, who knew or felt like, dang, I can't talk. She's like, who feels like Karen knew what tossing salad and everything was? And most of the girls raised their hands. And she was like, hell if I knew, I did not know. All right, so we move on to Mia. And Nikki says she, appreciated the scenes with her and her mom. And it looked like she was really hurt and everything. She's like, yeah, it was. She's like, she's kind of, letting your dad have it. It looked like it hurt you. She's like, yeah, because I have all good memories. And I'm like, how do you have all good memories when, am I crazy? Or didn't Mia say she burned herself because her dad was busy doing something, not caring for her? Like, how is everything good that she's thinking of? Because I could swear she told a couple memories about her dad that was not great. But long story short, I didn't really like this line of questioning from Nikki where she's just like, yeah, but she's hurting you in the meantime. Because Mia's like, yeah, that's her story. And, it's fine. She's healing. Yeah, but she keeps saying stuff and she's hurting you. Yeah, so what? Mia's grown now. What you don't do is dog the dad out when they're kids or whatever. But she's grown now. And yeah, I can tell you that your dad got me hooked on drugs and he's an asshole. So I don't see a problem with that. All right, we then get into Mia and her surgeries and the fact that she owned it all. And Nikki asks, well, does it make the climax better? And Ashley's like, that's a good question. I'm like, shut your face, Ashley. But Mia says, yes, girl, I do. And Nikki's like, what kind of freaky shit you and G be doing? And she might not have said shit, guys. I actually don't think she did. But Mia's like, we be getting freaky. I'm like, ew. So she's asking, do y'all be bringing all kind of Becky's back to the house? And Candiace is like, not Becky's. And I'm like, yeah. And Nikki said, yeah, that's what G likes. He likes the white girls. Sorry. So Mia says she picks the women, and she picks exotic women, unreal women. And Nikki's like, oh, okay, whatever that means. She asks if it makes the marriage better. Of course, Candiace is like, yeah. And I'm like, sure. Maybe somebody can come in and take your job. You're like, you don't have to sleep with this old man for a night or two. Great. So she asked, would that be fine if you brought a man home? And Mia's like, oh, hell no. And everybody, of course, is like, oh, that's not fair. And I'm like, of course it's not. Again, another double standard. But Nikki says, okay, so you married an older man. What's her name? Karen and Ashley. You guys married older men. Is that the new wave? Or she's like, let me ask you, if you had $100 million in the bank, would you still marry these men? And she's like, and don't lie, because I got a lie detector right here in my head. And Ashley is cracking up laughing because she knows the answer is no. All right, so she asked Ashley first, and she says, yeah, I was 22 when I met him, and at the time I was bartending, so maybe not. And Nikki says, well, that was the answer then. And she's like, no, I was bartending, but she says something about she really was attracted to Michael, and I'm like, bullshit. And Nikki basically was like, bullshit. She's like, what were you attracted to? All right, Karen, would you have married Ray? Now, the $100 million would have enhanced it, but I had to have Ray. And I'm like, girl, calm down. She's like, he moved my soul. Okay, good answer, Karen. Good answer. So Nikki says, did it help that he was the Black Bill Gates at the time? And she's like, well, it didn't hurt. And she's like, yeah, I see. You ain't saying you a gold digger, but you ain't messing with no broke. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to mess with a broke man, period. Then we move on to Mia. So Mia says, yeah, she would have married him anyway. And Nikki's like, well, you wouldn't have met him. You wouldn't even have been in that club, right? And she's like, no, I think I would have. And they're like, girl, stop lying. You would not have been stripping if you had 100 million in the bank. First of all, Mia started saying, how do you know I don't have 100 million in the bank? And she's like, girl, I know you don't. Period. I know you don't. And, so then she's saying that, yeah, she still would have got with him, but nobody believes you. She then asked Mia about the fact that she said it wasn't really a strip club because they serve steak and lobster. And she's like, when you saw that back, do you see how crazy you sound? And she kind of really don't, but she said that she would say that any place that served chicken wings would be a strip club. Mia is exhausting. So Nikki and Mia go back and forth with how crazy she sound about the whole stripper thing. Then she asked Mia something, I can't remember, but Candiace butts in. Oh, she says something about her thinking that other women's husbands are attracted to her. Candiace says, yeah, because we're all intimidated by her. And Nikki says, Candy girl, go get your projector because I am done. And I'm like, if she tell this girl to shut up one more time, whoa, Candy girl, whoa. So she's like, Mia, what did you mean by the fact that Eddie couldn't even look at you because, he was so attracted or something? She's like, you make it seem like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, he couldn't even look you in the eyes. She's like, no, I'm just saying that Wendy was so insecure that she, wanted to take total control of him. Like, don't look at her, don't do this. And Nikki says, listen, she definitely played herself being so insecure, which she did. I'm sorry. Wendy, the first couple episodes, she definitely played herself being insecure with Mia. And she's like, well, we're going to get to that. So now we get to Wendy. And Nikki is like, listen, Wendy, I'm so proud when I see you on CNN. However, there is a huge change from last season to this season because you went from CNN to Candles, and that is quite different. Even though I don't agree with Ashley's approach, it kind of had to be said, which is what I said as well. Gizelle and Robyn were wrong for the way they kept attacking her. However, we cannot act like there is not a huge change in Wendy from her first season to this season. All right, so then Nikki says, listen, it came out that Eddie was following a bunch of booty models, and I'm really surprised that he's able to get away with it because it looked like you be on his back all the time. And Wendy then contradicted herself when she said he did not. She starts cracking up laughing. He did not follow a bunch of booty models. And then in a little while, she's going to say she doesn't know who he follows and she doesn't care. So either you do know or you don't know. But I got to speed this review up because I'm almost at 30 minutes. So Nikki says, okay, let's get it over and out the way. Is that why you got your booty done? Because he was following all these booty models. Wendy says, no, because even after I got my booty done, it's not as big as the booty models. And she's like, well, you sure? Because when Zaddy was over there talking about G, licking his tongue out and talking about, booties or whatever, you started dropping it like it's hot. And then they did a video back and she actually did. Yeah, Wendy was different this season. She just was. All right, now we're on to Candiace. And she starts out with, your mother seems willing to destroy your husband for the world to see. And I'm sorry, I agree. It's true. Nikki says, so this mama doesn't get checked or anything when she comes after him and you. And she's like, how did you feel when you saw that? I cried. Yeah, of course you did, Candiace, because that's all you do. And Nikki's like, she needs to know that. I'm like, I'm sure she knows that. Candiace cries all the time. So Candiace admits that she had to call Chris and kind of warn him that this was coming. And Nikki's like, then why aren't you checking your mom? Why aren't you saying anything? So basically, Candiace says that her mom said she was just trying to say whatever for TV. Like, she was just trying to make good TV. And Nikki's like, but yo, you just said that it's really affecting your marriage. So she would be okay with you potentially getting a divorce. If you had kids, she would be fine with you getting a divorce from your kid's father just because she wants to make good TV. And Candiace is shooting her a whole lot of bail. She really is. She's taking up for her mom. So Candiace basically tells Nikki, listen, because Nikki keeps saying, why don't you say something to her? And she's like, she won't hear it from me, but she'll hear it from you. And she's like, no, she would hear it from you if you set boundaries and actually said it like you meant it. And she's like, Gizelle, am I crazy? Gizelle says, no. Karen, am I crazy? No. And she's like, I already told Candiace's mom that if you get into a pissing match with Chris, you're going to lose your daughter. And I don't know that that's true, though, because Candiace is not giving up. And nobody says she should give up on her mom, but her mom is super shitty. Like, that episode had me pissed off, because why would you do that to your daughter on her big day? So now Nikki says she liked Drive Back, and she even said it on Instagram. And Candiace says, yes, you did, and thank you. And she's like, listen, keep it real. On a scale from 1 to 10, how, successful did you think the song would be? She asked Mia first. Mia says -2. And Candiace says, from a place of hateration. And I'm like, it's true. I'm sorry. Mia is just a hater. I don't know what it is with her and Candiace, and I don't know what it is that she's I think maybe because Candiace is pretty, you guys. She's very pretty, and Mia has facial issues. She's pretty, she's handsome. I'm just playing. Mia is pretty, but she got some issues. And so I kind of feel like maybe there is a little bit of jealousy or something with Mia, because why do you hate this girl so much? And she actually was super nice to Candiace in the beginning. So Mia says she didn't even listen to the song, and Nikki starts laughing, and she's like, but when you at the video shoot? And she's like, yeah, it was playing in the background, but, and I'm like, yeah, that makes it even shittier. Like, the fact that you were at my freaking video shoot and now you straight dogging me. Yeah, I wouldn't have anything to say to Mia. Like, she just do too much. So Karen says she gave it a 9, and she's like, 9 for effort, 9 for this and that. She's like, Candiace can sing. Nikki's like, no, that's not what I asked you. What I asked you is how successful did you think it was going to be? And she's like, maybe a 5, which was honest, but I feel like she did good. She did better than a 5. So if we're going off of what we thought and what actually happened, okay. But, Wendy's advocating for her. She's like, listen, she's on the billboards, and Candiace says that she streamed over 500,000, I think, something like that. And Nikki just gave her a look, and I'm like, okay, Nikki, just because you do numbers, I think those are good numbers for Candiace. Like, give her a break. Come on. So Nikki asks, so is it on R&B or what is it on Billboard? Because that's important. And she's like, yeah, it's R&B. And she's like, it's 24 on Billboard's, number 4 on iTunes. I personally think that's amazing for Candiace. I do. And she's like, and they're all asking Nikki, what, is that bad? And she's giving like a shitty look. I don't like it. So now I'm kind of, as I'm watching it back, I'm kind of seeing where Chris was like, yeah, this is some bullshit. I mean, eventually she ended up doing fine and singing. So we'll get to that. Oh, you know what? Let me just go to it real quick. I'm over 30 minutes. So Nikki asks her to sing. She doesn't want to sing. She wants to sing gospel. Nikki's like, sing Drive Back. Everybody's like, Candiace, sing your song, sing your song. Candiace ended up singing her song. She did fantastic. Even Andy came up and was like, yo, you killed it. At that point, Chris came up and he was pissed. And she's like, no, I'm not mad. Don't be mad. And he's like, yeah, I'm mad because of the way these questions were coming and the way you're getting questioned. I think he was more so mad at all this shade that Nikki is doing at her numbers. Because what did she say? I think she said she streamed or she sold like 20,000 copies. That's freaking great for Candiace. And yeah, I agree that I think it's shitty the way Nikki was treating her numbers. So Nikki's asking for exact numbers and talking about downloads and the whole album and all that. And Robyn's like, well, she got at least 1 for me. And she's like, yeah, I downloaded it. And Mia's just giving her a look. So Candiace pulls out her phone and she's looking for the exact numbers. And she's like, they just came out yesterday. Mia's like, you don't know them? They just came out yesterday. Oh, then you should know them. And I'm like, Mia, shut the hell up. Yeah, so once again, Nikki, is asking her about the amount sold in 20,000, and she not once said, oh, well, that's pretty good for you. Like, she was just shady. So then she went to her new video, Is It Enough? They came back, everybody's like, yay, and she's just looking. Yeah, Nikki was being super shady to Candiace, and I don't think she thought she was going to do as well as she did when she sang her song. So in your face, Nikki, I now, for real, understand what Chris saw. It wasn't just the end part where she got kudos for singing and doing a great job. It's all of this that Nikki is doing right now. All right, so watching it back, you guys, she just sang, and Candiace did that. I'm sorry, she did. And I do appreciate the fact that Nikki was like kind of rolling her body and smiling and vibing with her. So, okay, we'll give her that. But I love the fact that the cast, like whoever was in the audience, was cheering like crazy. They were giving it up to her. Even Mia said she's gonna go download it. Like she wasn't being a hater at that time. And I also like the fact that even when they were trying to get her to sing, Chris was in the audience taping the entire time. I feel like he has nothing but confidence in his wife, and he knew that once she shut up and started singing, she was gonna kill it. Yeah, I appreciate this whole little thing. So when Mia says she's gonna go download it, Nikki's like, "So that wasn't low budget, Mia?" And she's like, "No, that was good. That was good." She's like, "I'm a real one. I can admit that was good." And Wendy's like, not Wendy. Karen's like, "Yeah, yeah. Candice can sing. Candice can sing." So Mia then says, "Sorry to interrupt, but I've been holding it forever. Can I go use the bathroom?" And they're like, "Yeah, go." And it looks like Nikki needed to use it too, the way she was running off the stage. So as they're taking a quick potty break, Chris comes up and she's like, "Oh, hi, honey. Did you see Nikki?" He's like, "Yeah, I saw the whole thing. I saw the whole thing." And she's like, "And why are you sounding so mad?" He's like, "I saw the line of question and everything." She's like, "Listen, I'm not upset." She's like, "And the only reason why I'm not upset is because she's doing it to everybody. Like, basically, she's giving everybody a little bit of fire," which she was. She was going down the line. She wasn't making it super easy on anyone. She had some hard questions. And at this time, Andy comes up and he's like, "Listen, you really killed that. I'm really proud of you." And that's when Chris tells him that, "Yeah, I'm not very happy about it. I'm glad you're happy," that sort of thing. My only problem with this whole thing, like I said, I understand what Chris saw, and now I'm not as mad, but I also know that Chris has been drinking the entire time, as we can see. And I just feel like these people just won't give Candiace a break in terms of letting her have a good moment. Her mom ruined her video shoot, and now Chris is ruining the fact that she just killed. Like, dang, can y'all just keep it positive at some point for this girl? So we have Andy trying to calm Chris down, like, "Listen, she just did something amazing, and Gizelle is like, "Yo, Chris, like, she just had, blew the roof off. She just did a really great job. What are you mad about?" And then Robyn comes up and she's like, "Are you still complaining?" And I'm like, "Robyn, shut the hell up." And then Chris is like, "No, Gizelle." You can tell that he's inebriated, you guys. I'm sorry, you just can't. But yeah, we move on. All right, the ladies sit back down. Nicki Minaj closed it out. She says, "Thank you. All you ladies are queens." I think she did a phenomenal job. Like, I really was not looking forward to it from the first second she said she wanted to host on Instagram. I was like, "Girl, no." But she did a really good job. So I was satisfied with this one. It wasn't people talking over people and everything. She controlled it very nicely. She asked the tough questions. I'm cool with it. All the ladies were cool with it. Nobody was mad at her for the shitty comments or questions. So all in all, this is like a 40-minute review. Oh my God. But it was a really good episode. And if you are still here, you are my real MVP. Shout out to Ms. Vaughn. She's from Chicago. She does blogs. And she also says the real MVP thing at the end. I was like, I know I got that from somewhere, and I don't want to steal nobody's stuff. But I appreciate you guys for still being here. If you have not already, please like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Smooches. Y'all, okay, little bonus. Can we talk about something before I go real quick? How about we talk about DoorDash and the fact that the shits costs a lot. Not shits. The shit costs a lot. And my daughter does it every day, like 2 or 3 times a day. And she does she has the free delivery and all that stuff. Like, she literally pays for that monthly so that she can continuously call them. So tonight I didn't feel like going out to get dinner. I didn't cook anything. So she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do DoorDash. Go ahead and do your DoorDash." And I'm like, "Yo, I want Outback." However, my meal is like $18 for my meal on just a random Tuesday. I feel like, what did I do today to deserve an $18 meal just today on a random Tuesday? And I don't understand where these young adults feel like they just want to spend all their money any given day on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Like, they're just like, here, take my $16. Take my, where I feel like I have to do something super special to spend $18 on a meal for the night. Like, what did I do today? Today is Tuesday. What did I do? She ended up pushing just pay for it anyway. So I had to do it. But am I the only one who feel like man, DoorDash is like, it's a luxury, and I feel like I have to really do something to deserve this luxury. Let me know if it's just me. All right, smooches, you guys. Bye.